Hey Chad, do you want me to do an audiobook of Great Gatsby during the stream? In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, he told me, just remember that all the people in this world haven't had the advantages that you've had. He didn't say anymore, but he's been unusually communicative in a reserved way, and I understood that he meant a great deal more than that. In consequence, I'm inclined to reserve all judgments, a habit that has opened up many curious natures to me, and also made the victim of not a few veteran bores. The abnormal mind is quick to detect and attach itself to this quality when it appears in a normal person, and so it came about that in college, I was unjustly accused of being a politician.
Please, God, stop!
Why was that last one so funny?
Guys, we need you to chant for Chris. We need you to say, "Go, Chris, go! Go, Chris, go!" Okay? Do it for me real quick. Type in chat. We need to see it. You have to do it in a Freddy voice.
What's a Freddy voice?
Italian, but harder.
Why is Freddy Italian?
Go, Chris, go! Go, Chris, go!
Okay, I'm gonna start now. He obeyed, and suddenly his chair flung around. A massive gun was quickly in front of him. He knew what Servant wanted him to do, but he wasn't sure that he knew how to do it. He decided to try anyway. He lined up the gun with the massive ship approaching him, and pressed the triggers at the sides. The gun rumbled as hundreds of tiny lasers shot from the gun at once, slamming against the starship. It rumbled, and quickly steadied and fired back. Okay, let's slow down. About a week earlier, Christopher was hiking in the hills of Estate Park. It was a warm, sunny day, and he was in a calm, serene mood. What a perfect vacation, he thought. Just when he was about to climb down again, he saw a big black bear in the middle of the path. It turned and looked straight towards him. "Good bear, completely harmless, kind bear," he mumbled. The bear roared and charged directly at him. Christopher screamed and ran away, yelling, "That is not a good bear!" Suddenly, the sky darkened. The bear whimpered and ran away. Christopher looked up in shock as he saw a giant silver ship hovering above him. The bottom of him was carved into a steep slope, and he could vaguely see two giant engines in the back. Blue light surrounded it. He just sat there admiring the ship, until the blue light shone down at him. He started to feel himself rise above the ground. "What the heck?" Christopher mumbled. "What kind of strange dream is this?" He pinched himself. "Ouch!" He shouted. "Well, I guess I'm awake," he thought. He looked up and saw a hatch opening. He was lifted completely onto the ship. There was a hovering table and chairs in the corner, along with strange test tubes and machines that Christopher didn't recognize. And he wasn't alone. There was a 7-foot-tall creature standing close to him, observing. It didn't look as strange as Christopher imagined aliens to look like, or at least he assumed it was an alien. It had the same skin tone as him, had a human-like face. The only differences were scales covering his entire body, like a lizard. "Who are you?" Christopher asked. "What do you want from me?" The alien made a strange gurgling sound, then it lifted a finger and turned towards the table. As it did this, Christopher saw giant red wings folded on its back. The alien grabbed a strange device and placed it on his throat. "Greetings, I am a high-class Getapax from the planet Neptune. Welcome to my humble starship." He uttered this in a voice that sounded like a bunch of computer sounds formed into words. "What do you want from me?" Christopher asked again. "We would like to study you. Our kind has been fascinated with you humans since the 7th era. We will only keep you here for a couple of Earth months. A couple of months. We appreciate your cooperation. Now, if you'd kindly allow my student to escort you to your room. Wait! You can't take me! I have a job back on Earth! I'll get fired! That is of no concern. We will return you to this time when we have completed our information collecting. Why do you want me of all people? I'm just a young waiter. Why not a scientist or a genius or something? Scientists' minds are locked into the belief the only things that exist within the limited vision of reality are real. They would have called my kind mutated humans and sought to destroy us as a threat to the precious democracy. But you're different. You accepted that I am an extraterrestrial being, or alien as you humans call it. How do you know that scientists think that way? Maybe they will be excited to learn that aliens exist. I know I sure am. Project the Emperor. Excuse me? We have a device that tells the future. We have one implanted into every one of our brains. Everyone? We Getabaxes have 3 brains. What? Now if you'd please go to the holding chamber. Servant, escort him. Suddenly an alien, almost identical to the one standing in front of him, only a foot shorter, appeared next to him. He didn't walk, he just appeared there, out of thin air. Yes, a senator. He said this in a much higher voice than the senators. Christopher followed them through a white hallway. It had electric blue lighting, like a BMW. What's your name? Christopher asked them while they were walking. Name? What is that? The alien looked puzzled. Christopher wasn't confused. Did the aliens not have names? What did the other Getabaxes call you? He asked. They call me servant. Then how did they tell you apart from the other servants? They don't. What do you mean they don't? They don't. There is no need to differentiate between servants because all servants have the same purpose, to serve. My master, senator, is not differentiated from the other senators. He is just senator. Only one Getabax is told apart from all the emperors. Emperor Ishkan. This emperor is 10 feet tall, as height relates directly to ranks for Getabaxes. Suddenly, they arrived. The room looked like the hallway, only it was much wider. It was about 10 square feet. It had a bed and a large machine. Christopher inquired the servant about what it was. Oh, that is the nourishment generator, which is kind of like your human refrigerator, only it also produces the food. Oh, cool! Christopher walked up to the fridge. It was 7 feet tall with a single button on it. Christopher pressed it, and the surface of the fridge changed. A screen appeared with a picture of every type of food imaginable shown on it, from expensive caviar to fried termites.
How long is this?
I'm like a little past halfway done.
Half? What do you mean half?
This was supposed to be like a 4-page assignment back in middle school.
Dog, what do you mean? You've only read 2 pages?
No, I don't know how long I've read. I said it was supposed to be, not actually is.
Man, your teacher was sitting there fucked up. Your teacher was sitting there.
It's 2,000 words.
Fucked up!
What's chat say right now?
Oh, the chat's been going off, man. Chat's been going off.
Something about man's penis,
Chat's been going off about your PP.
Oh, great. Hold on. Before I continue, I need to read all the chat.
Continue?
Yeah, let's... POV Mario reading a story to kids at the public library. Should I do it in the Italian accent?
Yes.
They were all orphans and are forced to listen for breakfast. For real. Plot twist, the alien is the man in the cauldron. It's just the man's penis.
Keep going.
Bowser is holding them at gunpoint. It's why he hides it. Bowser's flying ship with Peach waving down. Bowser reading the Peach fully chained up. LOL. This better become a short. Okay, Jade, say you subscribe, lol. Everybody should subscribe. RN. RIP Chris's vocal cords, that is very true. I am dying on the inside. Thank you. The aliens will replace his throat. Going to Venmo Chris $1 to read Twinkle Twinkle Little Star to fall asleep through after this. If you Venmo me $1, I will give you the full rights to that vocal clip. Chris costs more than my cankles, but I'll see if I can swing you a deal. Emoji. Okay, time to continue reading.
Oh my god!
Wait, Chad, do you want me to still read? Now we have to wait for latency. Actually, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. Tell me what they say.
They said yes. Read the end. I'm gonna use the bathroom after this. I'm giving Chris. I'm gonna pull up some dark music.
Do you want me to read the end or the entire rest?
The entire. You're reading the entire thing.
Okay.
I'm pulling up an ominous lo-fi music. I'm pulling up some ominous music for this part. Copyright free music. Ominous.
What happened?
I fell.
Oh, good job.
Anyway, put this on.
Why?
Trust your boy. Go ahead.
I don't know if I can do the Italian accent in this atmosphere.
No, you got this.
Okay, suspenseful music is playing. He pressed on a picture of a Big Mac, and the tray came out of the machine with the fast food on it. Christopher picked it up and took a bite. That's so good. Mamma mia, I just added that in. He tried to verbalize with his mouth full. Indeed, now I must be going. Farewell. Servant walked out of the room. Christopher turned to see a second device in the room. A singular lever on the wall. He walked up to it and pulled it. The wall suddenly gave way to clear glass, and he saw the great expanse of space. Earth, a giant in the distance, stared down at him. He could only imagine what his friends and co-workers must be thinking. Have they called the cops? No, they would have to wait 48 hours. They must at least be lurking for me. I hope they are lurking for me. Have they forgotten about me? Just as Christopher was about to start questioning his self-worth, servant walked in again. Ah, I see you have discovered the window. Christopher nodded. Yes, it's pretty cool. Is Earth really that large? He asked. Actually, it is quite small compared to my home planet. Now come along. The data collection will begin. Christopher followed him back to the first room. Senator was waiting there. He ran all sorts of tests on him, studying his heartbeat, making him sprint on the treadmill, and taking his blood. This continued for several days, with him occasionally going back to his room to sleep or eat. He managed to extend his palate past Big Macs. He tried exotic foods such as baklava, sushi, and orange chicken. Servant came occasionally to talk to him, as he was ordered to make him feel at home by Senator. While they talked, he found that Servant was very unhappy with the social system that the Getapax he lived under. He felt urged to escape. Christopher could relate to that feeling, as he wanted to leave from all the data collection and examinations that Senator was putting him through. He could also relate to not liking your kind social system. Is this Minecraft music? Why is Minecraft music playing?
It's not.
It is, I swear.
No, it is not.
Minecraft relaxing music.
Shit, hold up.
Okay, back to eating. As he was lower class, he had to work as a waiter, bringing food to other people, while barely getting any himself. So they talked. They decided to try to escape. Servant told him that they were going to get en route to Neptune the next day, and there were escape pods located in the back of the ship. They decide to escape to Mars, the nearest planet, and terraform it so life can exist on it. They began plotting their escape. The next day, Servant appeared at his door. "You ready to get out of this place?" Christopher asked. "Affirmative. Let us leave." They sauntered down the corridor. When they reached Senator, Christopher fell over as if he were having a heart attack. "The human has collapsed. There must be something wrong with him. May I take him to the med bay, master?" Servant asked. "You must, if there is something wrong with it. Hurry back. You have other work to do." Servant carried Christopher into the opposite hallway to the one that leads to his room. Once they were out of sight, Servant dropped him, and they ran together. Christopher briefly saw the medbay servant was talking about. Suddenly, his alien friend stopped. There was a sign to the right saying escape pods. They turned and got into one of them. Christopher was starting to spot a pattern in alien technology. The pod was also white with electric blue lights. There was a large control module in the front. Servant was flicking all sorts of levers and pressing lots of buttons faster than he can comprehend. But before he knew it, the escape pod lurched forward into space. Back in the main... Why is there just ominous breathing in the background? That's not music, that's just breathing.
It's good. It's alright, it's good.
Okay.
It's good.
Before he knew it, the escape pods launched forward into space. Back in the main room, Senator heard an alarm. The light started flashing red, and a robotic voice shouted, "Unauthorized escape pod released." Repeat, "Unauthorized escape pod released." Senator cursed. He sprinted down the hallway to a room titled Defense Room. He mounted a large turret. Servant was flying to Mars, when suddenly the pod lurched to its side. They were hit. He moved his ship side to side to dodge the lasers. "Press the red button," he screamed to Christopher. He obeyed, and suddenly his chair flung around. A massive gun was quickly in front of him. He knew what Servant wanted him to do, but he wasn't sure that he knew how. He decided to try anyway. He lined up the gun with the massive ship approaching him, and pressed the triggers at the sides. The gun rumbled as hundreds of tiny lasers shot from the gun at once, slamming against the starship. It rumbled, but quickly steadied and fired back. Just then, a large flashing blue button caught his eye. He pressed it, and the whole pod started to shake. A giant missile shot out of the bottom of the ship and slammed against their attacker. The starship exploded. They had won! The pod landed on the surface of Mars. He and Servant got out. "Well, that just happened," Christopher mumbled, exhausted from the fight, despite Servant having done most of the work. "You know, I have never liked being called Servant." Christopher couldn't blame him. "So what would you like to be called?" he asked him. The alien thought for a moment. "Call me Takavor." "Well, okay, Takavor. What would you like to do first?"
Takavor?
It's an Armenian word.
I said Takavor.
Takavor, it means king.
Okay, what I think is I only eat tacos.
Yeah.
I'm a tacovore.
Yeah, exactly. Takavor. "Well, okay, Takavor. What would you like to do first?" "Let's make this air breathable." Sounds like a plan. Up until then, they had been wearing futuristic spacesuits. They got to work, planting trees and other plants, until there was enough oxygen in the air to breathe. They took off their suits. Christopher took a deep breath. "Ah, that's much better." "Agreed. Let us continue." So they worked together, making the planet habitable. They worked for several days, until a new starship appeared. It landed, and a human astronaut walked out. It planted an American flag into the now fertile soil. The astronaut turned and looked directly at them. The end. Okay, I'm free. How'd you like the story? Taco War?
Thank you for coming down to the stream. I know we didn't get as far as I would have liked.
Oh no, we're not done. I have to read all the comments now. The music is so suspenseful, damn. Me breathing in anticipation. Alien, that could have been named anything else. Taco War. Applause. I'm sobbing. Beautiful. Thank you, thank you.
Oh my god.
Now that's a spicy meatball.
Jesus Christ.
Stream's going well.
Stream's about to end. Stream's about to end. Thank you all for thank you for coming down.
You actually ending it with that?
I have to, yeah. And Chris, we full blown got the twist ending they didn't expect, which was the stream ending.
True.
If you came down to the stream, thank you. If you're watching the YouTube video after the fact and you somehow got to Takavor,
Takavor.
you know, only eats tacos.
Yes, exactly.
thank you
It
for
means
watching.
King Armenian. That's what I was bad at naming, so I just decided
Chris!
to use Armenian words.
Subscribe, Italian accent.
Subscribe!
Okay, do that. And if you want to see more streams, let me know. If you want to see some Binding of Isaac, let me know.
I'd like you to know that the entire time I was reading, I was doing the Italian hand thing, like, non-stop.
And thank you guys for watching. As always, bye-bye!
Bye-bye! It doesn't sound like papaya.